Hey guys, this is Asad Siddiqui again. I am the owner and developer at iDesignSmart.com. In today's tutorial, I'll be talking to you about how to create very powerful, responsive, and beautiful grids in your WordPress website using the Essential Grid plugin from Theme Punch. So a grid is a very powerful way to display portfolios, or you can create slideshows, photo galleries, display blog posts, pricing tables, your products, pretty much anything in a very nice layout. And this plugin Essential Grid also has a built-in functionality to filter like that. You can filter things and sort and page. So it has nice paging controls built into it. It has nice paging elements built into it. So overall, it's a very powerful plugin, and there are so many things that you can do with it. But I cannot go into the detail of each and everything because there can be so many different scenarios. I will try to get you up and running and get you started with the plugin, and you can explore it further. If you have any specific questions or comments, feel free to comment on my video and I'll get back with you as soon as I can. So without further wait, I'll jump right into that and show you some of the setup that I have done. So what I did was I installed a fresh instance of WordPress, and then I installed the Udesign WordPress premium theme. So why Udesign? There are two reasons. The first reason is Udesign gives you this plugin for free. Otherwise, this is a premium plugin that you'll have to purchase from Code Canyon for, I believe, $26 or $19. Probably it's 26. And Udesign is basically giving it to you for free. So I have a license for Udesign, and I thought that I can give you guys a demo of this plugin with Udesign theme. So I installed the Udesign theme on my fresh WordPress install, and I haven't demoed or imported any sample content. So this is not about the theme demo. By the way, if you are interested in the theme demo and if you want to look at it, I do have a detailed video in my channel that shows you how to work with the Udesign theme and what are different options that you can set up. So getting that out of the way, let's jump right into the Essential Grid. The first thing that we want to do, let's go to the back end and I will show you some of the setup that you have done. So just like their sample grid, I want to create a portfolio that I can display on a page, can be the home page of my website. So once you have installed and activated the plugin, you will see that there is a Essential Grid option that is there, and you will be able to see all the essential grids that you have created. Right now I don't have anything, so I will just go ahead and create a new one. It takes a few seconds. By the way, if you are in the hosting or in the market looking for a hosting or a domain provider, my affiliate link is in the subscription. You can get a very nice 30% coupon and I will get credit for the sale. So I'll appreciate it, and it helps me make such tutorials. So let's give this a title. So I will just say my portfolio, and the alias I will just say portfolio. And you see, whenever I put in an alias, it generates a short code. This is very similar to Slider Revolution, which I also have a video for, and you can put this shortcode on a page to display the content. And the CSS ID is if you want to assign an ID to the wrapper div for some CSS, then you can assign that ID here and then go to your custom CSS and write CSS for it. So if you don't understand what it means, you can just leave it blank and you're good. So once that is done, then the next step is to create a source. Now once you go to the source, you will see different kinds of source or different kind of things that you can do and assign your grid to pull content from. So you can pull content from pages, post, and custom post. Custom post types like that. When I installed and activated the plugin, this got installed with my this custom post type got installed as one of the options with Essential Grid. Now you can create any post type that you like. Another video on my channel shows you how to do that with a plugin and a UI without knowing any code for PHP. So you can do that as well. It can be anything. It can be a person, it can be a profile, it can be a book, it can be a home in a real estate scenario, it can be pretty much anything in the context of the site. So you can so all your post type will also be displayed over here. So what I want to do is I want to create a post based slider that will pull from these two categories. So if I show you the setup for my posts again, I will just open that in a separate window. And once all the posts start showing, what you will see is item 1 through item 9 belong to a portfolio or portfolio new category. So if I click on, let's say, item 9, which belongs to the portfolio category, what I've done here is put in some sample content here that I just grabbed from here and copied and pasted in the editor. Select the right category that I want to put my portfolio item to, and then I uploaded a featured image which I want to display in my grid. Now it doesn't only have to be a featured image. You can put in a picture in the sources, which we'll talk about. You can put it in the content and program your grid to pull images from your content. So that can also be done, but the most simplest way for me is to grab featured images. So I've done that and assigned a featured image in every post that I'm working with. So I'll just close that, go back to my grid, and I program it to pull from any post that belongs to either this, or I'm holding down the control key, or this, or so you can do and as well and or as well. Or means anything that belongs to portfolio or anything that belongs to portfolio new will be pulled by my grid. If I did and, then anything that belongs to both of these will only get pulled with my grid. So once I have that, additional parameters can be used if you want to write like SQL style queries and sort or filter your or reorder the posts that are being picked up. And then the important one, media source. Media source will tell you where to pick up the media from. By media you can have a video, you can have images, you can have iframes, Vimeo videos, YouTube, SoundCloud. So you can pick up all that different kind of content. So in my scenario, because all my posts for portfolios have a featured image, I'm gonna pull the featured image of each blog post. So any post that belongs to these two categories. Why two? Because I also want to show you how to do the filtering of these things. So because of the filtering, I created posts that belong to two different categories. So now that I have the featured image in place and everything looks nice and fine, this is the editor, this is the preview of my grid. So you can go to grid settings now, and you have different kinds of layout: box, full width, or full screen. So you can have a box layout. This will be inside of the container. Full width, this will be the same width as the container, no border margins. Or you can also have the full screen, which will be like the grid will be the only thing that will be visible. Now this is very powerful, and people can create pages that only have grids in them. So you can, like, if you think of a page, you can divide the page in like 5 grids, maybe the home page, and then you can provide elements for each grid element, which this plugin let you define. So that, and then the grid type layout, it supports different kinds of layout. Like even is like when all the pictures that are in the grid are even or same size. So every item in your grid is gonna take the same amount of space. Masonry is used for, like, for example, if you had to do blog post, or you had to do text that you want to show excerpts for text for your blog, then you can do masonry. And then you can also do cobbles mean that you can program your grid to display certain elements in a certain way. Like, for example, the first element in my grid will take up space for the 4 elements here, then the next one will just take 2, the third one will take 1. So you can program it. So if you select, for example, cobbles, it's gonna display a cobble pattern. So use cobbles pattern. If I turn that to on, then I can create my own cobbles pattern and program my individual items. But I'm just gonna go with the even, just so I can save time and it will fulfill my purpose. Once that is done, I can change how many items do I have in the grid. Now, one thing that I skipped over is this media height to width to height ratio. Now what this means is this works directly with this option. Now on the desktop, if I want to display 5 elements, let's say 1 2 3 4 5, and my total width of the container where it will be, like for example this width, this is the width that I'm working with. So if that is the case, then each item will get divided by the total number of items that are in the row, and that is the width of each image that will be displayed. And once you know the width, if you divide the width by this ratio, then you will know exactly what the height of each element will be. So you'll have to play around maybe with this a little bit, or an easier way is what I've done in the past is put a wrapping div around it and specify different kind of widths to it. And you can change the number of items that you are going to display in your row for desktops, or like these are all the responsive breakpoints that you have. Now if you are going to use an even size grid, I would totally recommend that the images that you are working with are also even sized. That's when you get the best looking grid. So that being said, I'll just maybe change it to 4 for everything is 4 on the desktop, 3 on the tablet, and 1 on the mobile. So once I do that and click outside this editor, okay, so now there are 4 and they look kind of bigger. So I can do, or you can do 3 as well if you like. So depending on your scenario, you can also come to the editor and then you can show and hide from the grid. So you can click this button if you don't like this portfolio item, and you can hide it from the grid. So grid will basically mark it as a deleted item and this will not be displayed. So rest of the things are pretty self-explanatory. So you can define a spacing in your grid, like maybe I can do 15 pixels here or 13 pixels here, and then you'll start seeing a space between my grid items. Maybe I'll just go with that. And the maximum rows I want to display, we can just do 2. Let's say this is the home page portfolio, so I don't want to go in a lot of detail but display a few with a link, so I'll do that. And once all that is done, then you can move on to the next item, which is your navigation filter. So navigation filter basically gives you some available controls, and you can place those controls in your grid. So for example, if you wanted to display pagination in your grid, you can display that and put that in the drop zone 1 or drop zone 2. And if you wanted to display a filter up top, you can do that and the filter will start getting displayed. Now these drop zones you can also control, like for example, after the filter I want 15 pixels space, and before the pagination, which is drop zone bottom 2, I want 15 pixel space, just to add some, like to make it more nice and clean. So you can do that. It has control, you have control over that. Now some of the text that is available on these buttons you can also change. Once you are done with that and you have the featured images programmed to pull up, that is pretty much it. The next interesting item will be, like you see how these are behaving, you can totally change it. Like currently you see an overlay image on it, and there are 2 links that are animated. You see a magnifying glass and which will like enlarge the image, and then you have a link that will take you to the blog post and it will show you a title. So these things are controlled by the item skins that you have. So the skin editor basically, or skins, will tell you how your items are gonna look like. So if you click on skins, currently your items looks like this. So if you had to maybe select something else, you can select something else, and you can select different kinds of layouts for your grid. So with even grids, they have some layouts that they think will work better, and you can select one of them or create your own. So you can go to the skins editor and select something that will work for you. So for right now, I will like this Van Buren one, so I will just go with that. So what we will see on our grid will be the title and the date when it was posted. So now I already have the short code in my clipboard. We'll go to the page and I will edit the page, and what I can do is simply drop that short code here. So once I do that and update it, I think that should be it, and we will be able to see a nice portfolio that we can place anywhere. Now this can be put in the home page, any widgetized area, anywhere you want. So there you go. My page is not page widths are not defined to be the full width, so it's not taking the full widths, but definitely it looks like a nice portfolio. It has a nice paging, it has a nice filter buttons, so you can do portfolio and it'll display to you the 7 posts that are portfolio. You can do portfolio new, you can control the animations that they will display, you can do filter all, and everything will get displayed, and the paging works like that. Now to style it, you can also define custom CSS and change the colors and fonts and pretty much whatever you want. So this is a pretty cool feature. If I, for example, I think that these elements can be bigger, or if my page width was bigger, but I would like to show that to you from within the Essential Grid programming. So maybe I should change my grid to have I will leave that, and I want to go to my grid, not edit skin settings, just do the 3 elements as opposed to the 4, because I think it'll look better if it's bigger. So I will do 3, 3, 3, and 3. Okay, so not 33 but only 3. So if I save grid and go back to my sample page and refresh it, now you see bigger pictures. So make sure that the size of the images that are being displayed are big enough to handle the smaller image sizes that are displayed on the grid. So these are not very high quality images. I just copied them from my Facebook page. So you can click on the template or skin that we had does not allow us to like enlarge or magnifying glass or go to this post, but just simply displays like an overlay the title and the post. But you can certainly change whatever skin you want, and then for example, if you wanted to read more, you can go with this one, the default one. And if I save that, then you refresh it, and then you'll be able to see a light box kind of a image. So if I click on the image now, you'll see the light box right over there, and then you can also go to that post. So now you can I already talked about how you can pick images from different posts. Now what I want to do is create another grid and show you how you can put like blog filters in. Let's say I have 3 posts that belong to my blog category, and let's say I want to display an excerpt from my blog, and I want to display a video that is featured in one of them, or I want to create a video portfolio mixed with a featured image portfolio or something like crazy like that. So if I'll just give it a title, an alias, as soon as I give it an alias, it generates a short code. I'm gonna copy that, go to my source. This is again a post based slider. This time I'm pulling from the blog, and then I want to pull the featured images, and then I also want to pull the YouTube video. So featured in so YouTube, you can also use YouTube thumbnail, so you can use that option to pull whatever options are available, and I will show you how it is done. So you can do grid settings, and even instead of even size grid, this time we are going to go with masonry, because we have content and excerpts and text and that kind of a thing. And instead of 4 items, I will just change it to 3 items and 3 items and 3 items. and then I'll go to navigation and filter and sort. So you can see how easy this is. In a few minutes I am able to develop a fully functional grid, and then I can do the same thing that I did over there. This time I will do 20 and 20. That is done. But really we won't have any filter because everything belongs to the single category, but you can definitely program your grid to have multiple categories like I showed you in the first demo. Now skins, because we are doing masonry, we don't want this, but we want our text to be displayed. So we want to select masonry from our skins. By the way, you do have the skin editor available, so you can go to skin editor and add the ones that you like to your favorites, and then you can use the favorite tags. So for the time being, I guess I can just use this Garfield, and I can save my grid. So while this is being saved, I can go to my page and edit the page. And I can simply place that. I will use a udesign design shortcode to separate the two elements here, and then I can place my blog grid beneath my portfolio grid, and we'll see how it looks. Okay, so the portfolio and the blog grids together. First my portfolio grid gets displayed, and if I go down, then my different blog grids are getting displayed. So you can see how it's pulling my video from YouTube, so I can play that video. So it's a video portfolio. So this is another WordPress theme tutorial that I made for WordPress Avada theme. This is a featured image that is being displayed, so I can read more or go to that post, and this one didn't have a featured image or a video. So if I go to that post for post 3, I have assigned a YouTube ID. Let's go there and I can show you. So post, and post 3 is the video one where I set up my video. So going down, you will see, scrolling down, you will see essential grid custom setting. So if you can go to alternate sources and specify the video ID of a video, and then you can select your grid to pull this from the content of the post. So that is pretty cool and nice way to develop grids. Now this is completely responsive, and this will work on any kind of layouts, as you have already seen. So that is pretty much it. If you're not seeing this option, you want to check your screen options and make sure the essential grid custom setting is selected. If not, then your stuff will not get displayed over there. So now it's gone. So you want to make sure that is selected and you see the essential grid, and then alternate sources you can do that much. So you can do a Vimeo, you can do a Vistia, or you can do a SoundCloud, or pretty much any MP4 or OGV, whatever formats you have. Now again, if you're doing content or post based grids, the categories are the key. So you have to make sure that you are pulling from the right category and your featured images and source for the media is set up correctly. And that is pretty much it, and the rest of the stuff is being controlled by the page width and the page layout. So I hope that this gave you a nice idea on how to create responsive grids using the essential grid layout. If you do have any questions or suggestions, you can put a comment in the video or connect with me on Facebook. So I've put my Facebook page link in the description, and if you are again in the hosting or domain market looking for a domain or hosting, you can use my coupon to get a very nice discount on a very decent hosting in a shared hosting environment. If you are looking for my opinion on different VPS and dedicated hosting, I can certainly share that with you. And if you are in the market looking for somebody to customize your website or WordPress, if there is anything WordPress, I will be happy to look into that for you. So you can feel free to contact me about that as well. So that is pretty much it for this session, and I will be back very soon with a lot of video content that I've planned that I will be making videos for. If you have any special request, leave it in the comment below. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time.